everybody, and welcome back to episode 60 of Sooner Girl Sports Pod. And I cannot wait for you to hear my guest today, our baseball catcher, Brendan Brock. But before we get there, I want to run through the Sooner headlines of the week. And for last week, since I did not do the section on last week's episode, I'm going to catch you up on everything that you have missed since the last update that I gave you. But first, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. Marvin's Place, a fine art gallery and listening room located in the Depot District in Ardmore, Oklahoma. Come experience amazing artwork. And on Friday nights, visit the Listening Room, an intimate, unplugged venue. We host singer and songwriters on Friday evenings from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Relax with a glass of wine or craft beer and enjoy some wonderful music. And I do want to point out that today's guest, Brendan Brock, his uncle Ben Brock is a musician and he actually plays at Marvin's Place Art Gallery. I have seen him there a few times. Love his music, but there's a little connection there for you between our guest on today's show and Marvin's Place, our sponsor. Also, a thank you to my other sponsor, Therapy to Go in Ardmore, the funnest place in town to drive through for a drink, and you don't even have to get out of your car. They have a large variety of spirits as well as fountain drinks and snacks. So stop by and see Melissa, Allison, and the girls. Be sure and tell them that Sooner Girl Sports Pod sent you for a special gift. Now, we have not done an injury report with Dr. Lynon for quite some time, as thankfully we have not had much to report on. I do have an injury update today, but I did not record with Dr. Lynon since I don't have any details or any other information on the injury. We are awaiting some test results on our softball player, Nellie McEnroe Marinas, but I did want to make you all aware that she did have an injury in the game this past Sunday, March 1st. She was previously out for just a few games for some shoulder soreness, which not a big deal. She actually made a few appearances toward the end of those games. However, in that Sunday game, she did experience a knee injury while trying to catch a ball that our catcher Kendra Wells ended up catching. Not sure exactly what happened. She did go down in pain there on the field. She was able to get up and walk herself off. But Coach Patty Gasso in the postgame said there's definitely something going on there with her knee. They don't really know what or how bad it is. She is supposed to be undergoing testing today as I record on Monday, March the 2nd. I just checked Twitter before recording. I have not seen an update or heard anything on that injury, but as soon as I hear something on that, I will be sure to post it on my social media at Sooner Girl Pod on all socials. So be sure you go and give me a follow, and also I will update you on next week's episode. I also want to mention several people have asked and noticed that Riley Zake, our softball player, has been absent from the games so far this season. Some of you may remember earlier in the fall, she missed a few fall games due to a car accident that she was involved in, and she had a concussion. But unfortunately, she is still suffering some repercussions from that car accident. And so it has been speculated that she is redshirting this season due to those injuries. I personally have not heard that information. I may have missed it on a pre or post game from Coach Gasso. I have seen where people are saying that is what was said by Coach. I personally did not hear that, but it would make sense since here we are a month into the season and we've yet to see Riley. But I interviewed Riley a while back for the show. Her episode is airing this month as well. I hope that you'll tune in. She has such a great story. Her sister is a freshman pitcher, Berkeley Zake, who has pitched for us this season. And I'm just excited for you guys to hear her story. I wish her the best. She's such a sweet girl. And if she's redshirting, that's fantastic. We'll have a little more time with her. But I do hope to see her back soon on the diamond. Okay, for the Sooner headlines of the week, I want to do a quick reflection on Black History Month, which concluded at the end of February. But I want to mention something that I saw on social media last week talking about Sooner legend Prentice Gott. If you are a longtime OU football fan or know a little OU history, you've probably heard his name. He successfully desegregated OU football as the first Black player in program history, playing from 1956 to 1959. He was a two-time all-conference selection, as well as being named the 1959 Orange Bowl MVP. He played in the NFL for 7 years. His legacy is forever enshrined in the College Football Hall of Fame. So I just wanted to point that out and acknowledge Black History Month in the month of February. Okay, a few updates on football. The spring game has been officially announced from the university for Saturday, April 18th. Tickets are now on sale on Soonersports.com. I believe they're $17 for the general public, $12 for season ticket holders. And I want to point out that April 18th, that whole weekend is a fantastic weekend to make plans to stick around Norman and support several of our Sooner programs. On Saturday, the 18th, we're going to have the spring football game. Kickoff has been announced for noon. Now, just a quick reminder, we did the Crimson Combine last year as a result of the spring portal window. However, since that spring portal window is no longer there for football, we are moving back to a traditional spring game format, which means it will be a regular football game. So again, that kickoff is at noon on Saturday, April 18th. 4 p.m. our baseball first pitch against Missouri, and 7 p.m. softball first pitch against Arkansas. Also, our women's tennis is hosting the SEC tournament in Norman, April 15th through 19th. So it's a great weekend. Of course, that baseball series is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series, as well as softball. It's just a great time to get out, spend a couple days in Norman, and be able to support some of our programs. Also, in case you missed it, our Sooners hired former Raiders and Notre Dame running backs coach Deland McCullough as our next running back coach after losing DeMarco Murray to the Chiefs earlier last month. He most recently coached Ashton Giante in Vegas as well as Jeremiah Love while he was at Notre Dame. And just a side note for his previous OU ties, his sons are Desan McCullough and Day McCullough, who transferred from OU, but they were a part of the program. And to me, that says a lot about Coach Venables, the culture he's creating, that he still has a great relationship with Deland to be able to reach out to him, and he wants to be a part of the program even after his sons transferred from OU. Also, ESPN has ranked the best 100 quarterbacks of the 2000s, with 6 Sooners making the list, including Baker Mayfield at number 1. Coming in also on the list, Kyler Murray at number 7, Sam Bradford 16, Jalen Hurts 29, Jason White 39, and Landry Jones at 46. Also, in case you missed it, Owen Heineke's appeal for another year has been denied by the NCAA. He did participate in the NFL Combine last week in Indianapolis. He did very well, so good for him. I'm definitely going to miss him in a Sooner uniform. I'm not going to go off about the craziness of the NCAA and why I do think he should have gotten that appeal approved for another year as a Sooner, but that's neither here nor there. It's dead and gone. So Owen Heineke, thank you so much for being a fantastic Sooner, and we wish him nothing but the best in the NFL, along with our 9 other athletes who competed in the NFL Combine last week. DT Grayson Halton posted the 3rd highest vertical jump of any DT at the Combine in the last 20 years. Also, safety Robert Spears Jennings ran his 40-yard dash to tie for the fastest time at the Combine, and Jaron Kanek took over as the fastest time for the tight ends at the Combine as well. Of the top 10 fastest 40 times, there were 3 Sooners on the list. If you count all the guys who were Sooners at one point, referring to Brennan Thompson, he came in at number 1, and then our current Sooners as Dion Burks, number 4, and RSJ 6. So all of our guys, Fabechi Nueyu was another one that had a fantastic performance at the Combine. I wish those guys nothing but the best. I think they really racked up some dough in their stock. And the NFL draft is at the end of April. It's the last Thursday in April, so we will find out then where our guys will be drafted, and I'll be sure to update you on all of that when the time comes. Okay, our basketball teams, as you know, have played quite a few games over the last couple weeks. I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but I don't want to discount some of the things that have happened. So just a quick rundown on our men's basketball team. Back on Wednesday, February 18th, we had a loss at Tennessee, 68-89. On Saturday, the 21st, we fell to A&M and Norman, 71-75, and that was during the game that honored the 2016 Final Four team and retired Buddy Hield's jersey. What a cool night that was. If you missed any of the videos to that, please go back on the men's basketball social media accounts and give those photos a look. It's just such a cool thing to see Buddy there with his daughter, his teammates. Lon Kruger was there, former coach, and just how they were honored during that time. Also, Tuesday, the 24th, Sooners finally won a game against Auburn, 91-79. Pack had 22 points. He hit 6 threes during that game, which He also hit his 400th 3-point in that game as well. Saturday, February 28th, this past weekend at LSU, another great win for our Sooner guys, 83-67, strong showing on that road win. For the Sooners, Nigel Pack, Dayton Forsyth, Xavier Brown combined for 54 points in that game. And our guys have senior night this coming Tuesday night, March the 3rd. So if you're listening this the day that it launches, it would have been the night before 6 p.m. at the LNC. Believe it or not, OU has won 4 of their last 6 games. So fingers crossed for a good showing and a good win for our seniors on senior night. And again, I'll be posting the results of that game on my social media at Sooner Girl Pod. So be sure and go give me a follow on all platforms to get the latest updates and stats on that game. And of course, I will update you on next week's show as well. On to our women's basketball team. Coach Jenny is a top 15 finalist for the Naismith National Coach of the Year Award for the 3rd time in 5 seasons. A recap of their games the last couple of weeks. Thursday, the 19th, they won a dogfight against number 24 Georgia in Athens on the road. It was an incredible game, 71-67 win. 21 points for Elia Chavez, her 9th 20-point game, the most among SEC freshmen. On to Sunday, the 22nd, we had our 7th 100-point game this season, which is a school record, 100-93 win at home. That's our 3rd win over ranked opponents. Reagan Beers had a double-double again in that game. We also moved up to number 7 in the polls. Last week, SEC Freshman of the Week, Elia Chavez, 7 times at that time, but she has also been named SEC Freshman of the Week for this week, as it was just announced on Monday, March the 2nd. So that is the 8th time that she has been named SEC Freshman of the Week, tied for most of all time for that honor. So shout out to her for that. Also, in case you missed it, last Thursday night, the 26th of February, was senior night for Peyton, Beatrice Culleton, and Reagan Beers. Great win over Arkansas in that game, 89-44. We will definitely host the NCAA tournament at this point. That should not be the last that the fans see of this team at the LNC, but Peyton and Reagan Beers are 2 of the most impactful players of the Jenny Baranczyk era. Of course, Beatrice Culleton, a huge staple in the team as well, being with our program for all 4 years with her leadership, coming in off the bench and being clutch so many times. These girls are truly going to be missed. So they received their senior honors at that game. Elia Chavez broke the SEC record for consecutive made free throws with 48 in a row at that time in the game. Brooklyn Stewart had her first career double-double also in that game. Then this past Sunday on March the 3rd, OU was on the road to Missouri, and we extended our winning streak to 6 as we beat them 84-78. Reagan Beers, 23 points. Peyton had 16. Elia had 18. And next up for the girls, the SEC tournament is this week. They are a number 5 seed, getting them that first bye on Wednesday. So they will be playing this coming Thursday, March the 5th at 12:30 Central Time. We will play the winner of the Mississippi State-Florida game. If we win that game, we will then play again on Friday at 1:30 against LSU. They are a top 4 team, so they got the double bye. They don't play until Friday. And then if we beat LSU on Friday, we will play again on Saturday afternoon at 3:30, which will most likely put us up against South Carolina again. And then the winner of that game will advance on to the championship game on Sunday at 2 o'clock. So the bracket is up on social media. You can check that out. But for now, just remember we play Thursday at 12:30, the winner of Mississippi State and Florida. And the most favorable opponent for us, according to the regular season, would be for us to come up against Mississippi State again. So we will be watching that game on Wednesday to see who we will face on Thursday. It looks like as of now, we're likely a 12 seed in the NCAA tournament. We should, again, host the first 2 rounds in Norman, and then possibly at this point, it's looking like we could head to Sacramento for the Sweet 16 as opposed to that Fort Worth round, which that would be a great around for us to get in Fort Worth, as it is closer, obviously, and more Sooners would be able to attend. But as of right now, they have us looking like we're going to Sacramento. But of course, none of that will be cemented until Selection Sunday. But I will be sure and update you on all of that after the SEC tournament is over on next week's episode. Women's gym still ranked number 1. Our scores above 198 this season, 5 meets this season we have done that, and the whole entire rest of the NCAA, 5 meets. So we literally have performed that good this season. It's truly incredible. LSU number 2 came to Norman on Friday the 20th, and we won 198.125 over 197.925. A few important stats on our gym team. Entering that meet, OU ranked top nationally on vault and beam, while LSU ranked highest on the floor. OU senior Faith Torres entered as the top-ranked individual gymnast on beam, and sophomore Addison Fata led the nation on vault. LSU sophomore Kaylin Chow ranked second in both of those categories, right behind our Sooners. Sophomore Elizabeth Blessy led off the meet and posted OU's highest individual score of the night, and a career high for her at 9.975. With that win, we clinched just a share of the regular season SEC championship. However, in our meet this past Friday night, with that win, we did clinch it right out. But I want to point out that women's gymnastics attendance against LSU on the 20th, 10,234, a program record attendance. So for those of you who attended that meet, you made history. For those of you who purchased the discounted tickets from the link that I was given from the ticket office, thank you for doing that. Thank you for supporting our gymnastics team. I got no kickback from that link. I was just trying to pack the LNC. And in hopes that if I got a lot of sales from that link, that I will be offered more discounted links in the future. So thank you to those who supported me in that, and most of all, for supporting our Sooners, because what a win that was. Also, Lizzie Blessy was Specialist of the Week last week, and at our home meet against Auburn on Friday, like I said, we clinched the regular season SEC champs. And next up for our girls is at Arkansas this Friday, March the 6th. You guys, I'm telling you again, do not sleep on our men's gymnastics team with their number 1 ranking. And if you're watching the video, you can see my super cool shirt. I actually got this for free at the men's meet that I attended a few weeks ago. This coming Saturday night on March the 7th is their senior night, and I will be there. It's the last time for us to support our Sooner guys in McCaslin Fieldhouse this season, so get out and support them. I'm sure they will give away a great door prize. Like I said, they gave away this shirt a few weeks ago. They gave away a super cool retro hat this past weekend against Nebraska. But again, our guys, don't sleep on them. Number 1 team ranking overall. We have 4 Sooners that rank in the top 10 on floor, 2 on the pommel, 2 on steel rings, 2 on vault, 3 in the high bar, 2 on the parallel bar, and 1 in the all around. And we rank in the top 3 on every rotation. Do not sleep again on our Sooners. A quick rundown from the Winter Cup: Fuzzy Bennis, Sasha Boganosiuk, and Nathan Roman, and alumni Yul Mulder. And 2026 signee Hunter Simpson participated in the competition for the USA Gym National Team Selection. Boganosiuk won the silver medal on the vault and placed 13th all around. Bennis finished 16th. Boganosiuk also finished 8th on parallel. Bennis placed 10th on floor and tied for 11th on parallel. Roman earned 6th place on the parallel bars. Yul Mulder earned the silver medal in the all-around and secured a spot on the U.S. men's senior national team in his first competition since 2024, and he will compete in the America Cup, which is coming up this coming weekend. He claimed the parallel bar title, finished 2nd on steel rings, came in 6th on the pommel, and finished 11th on the horizontal bar. Simpson also competed in the all-around and finished 21st. He finished 17th on the pommel, 18th on rings. So Yul Mulder and Dante Rivet received national team spots, and Nathan Roman and Sasha Boganosiuk are on the development team. Yul Mulder was also selected to participate in the America Cup. It will be this coming weekend, the first weekend in March. Also want to do a shout out to Sooner signee Jesse Haney for earning high bar silver at the Elite Team Cup. He earned 9th at the parallel bars and 14th in the all around. This past weekend, our guys hosted Nebraska at home, and that is Coach Mark's alma mater, but we had a great win. The highest team score of the season in the NCAA, 331.3 over 321. 1-5-0 win over Nebraska, 4 individual season highs and a team season high on the rings. We swept all the event titles. Again, highest score in the nation to date for that total final score. And again, reminder, senior night this coming Saturday, the 7th at 6 o'clock, free admission. Last chance to see your Sooners at home. I will be there. I would love to see you, so come join me. Quick recap on our baseball guys. They closed out their weekend at Globe Life on Monday the 16th with a 10-6 win over New Mexico State. Then we hosted Coppin State in our first home series opener, the 21-1 win run roll in 7 innings, most runs scored since 2022. Cam Johnson again showing out on the mound that night. Game 2, 24-0. First time OU has scored double-digit runs in the first 6 games of a season since 1998. First time they've scored 20-plus runs in back-to-back games since 2005. They scored 46 runs in the first 2 games of the series, demolished Coppin State for the second straight day to take the series. Marcurius, again, fantastic in the circle for that game. Game 3, another run roll, 11-0. Rager showed out in the circle on that one. Skip Johnson said, "We don't want to play down or just go through the motions and get by. We want to come out and pummel them and do what we do." And that's certainly what they have done up to that point. Number 21, Oklahoma completed the sweep, moved to 7-0, first time in OU history to score double-digit runs in 7 straight games. Big time move up in the polls after that weekend series and our 7-0 start. Baseball America, number 10, Perfect Game USA 12, D1 Baseball 13, and USA Today 14. Tuesday midweek series against Arizona State last week, the last week of February, number 13, Oklahoma took our first loss in a 15-3 run roll at home, but we were able to split the series against them with game 2 of our midweek series with a walk-off win on Wednesday night in Norman, 4-3, as we avenged that blowout loss, and Jackson Willits was the hero there. Gonzaga weekend series this past weekend, we won the Friday game 1, 14-4. Jackson Willits, Trey Gamble, Dayton Taki, each with 2 hits. Saturday, run roll Gonzaga for the second straight day to clinch the series. Mercurius again showing out in the circle and inside the park home run by Camden Johnson. Unfortunately, on Sunday, we were not able to sweep as we lost 1-7 to Gonzaga, but I want to give a shout out to my guy, Brendan Brock, for his home runs have been very consistent this season. He is on the lineup every game, catcher or as a designated player to hit. And just a fun team to watch. I mean, we're going to have slip ups. They play so many games in these diamond sports. 1 loss, 2 loss. It's not detrimental this time of the season, and it's going to happen. But next up for our baseball guys, as I'm recording this, it will be Tuesday night, March the 3rd. They will host DBU in Norman. It's a big chance to show what we're made of at home as we play there, and then we will host Santa Clara at home again this weekend, the first weekend of March. So get out and support our guys. Softball, rewind to the week of February 17th. Cassidy Pickering, Player of the Week, and Kai Minor, Freshman of the Week. And Lexi McDaniel was just named a Freshman of the Week for this week, March the 2nd. Again, just want to mention Riley Zakay. I've been told that she is redshirting due to injuries from a car accident in the fall. That's why we haven't seen her. Her sister Berkeley is a freshman pitcher. We have seen her in the circle on numerous occasions. Also, Nellie McEnroe, Marinas. Reminder, she did have some shoulder soreness that kept her out of a few games, but she came back and then had a knee injury. And we are awaiting the results on that knee injury. I will post it again, like I said, on my socials as soon as I know anything about her at Sooner Girl Pod, and I will update you on next week's episode as well. Quick recap of the Mary Nutter Classic, which was weekend before last. Thursday night, a 6-5 win in 8 innings. Gabby Garcia walk-off. Alyssa Parker showed out with home runs, and Audrey Lowry showing out in the circle. Our Thursday nightcap did not start until way super late, but we won 10-2 over San Diego State. Molly Gacchino possibly looking at arm number 2. I think we've established that Audrey Lowry is our ace, but it is definitely a good possibility to go ahead and say that Molly Gacchino could be our arm number 2. She's been incredible for us this season. Home runs from Kendall Wells and one from Isabella Emmerling and Sydney Barker, who had the walk-off homer in the bottom of the 5th. That Friday, another run roll win for our girls. Top 25, Oklahoma 11 over Duke 1. Audrey Lowry again and Miley Gacchino combined in the circle. And Nellie had a walk-off grand slam in the 6th. Saturday at the Mary Nutter, unfortunately, we were upset by none other than Patty Gasso's alma mater, Long Beach State. 4-6 was a very disappointing performance against Long Beach State, and they capitalized on all of the errors that our girls had and took advantage of it. But we bounced back with a win over Cal, 7-5 later that Saturday afternoon. Big sixth inning turned into a huge factor in the game. The most encouraging part was watching our girls respond and watching Sid Burzon in her relief appearance. Just 2 hits and 4 strikeouts on her 4.2 innings pitched, longest appearance of the season so far. Nellie had 2 RBIs, but again, just great to see our depth in all of our positions across the board so far this season. We closed out the Mary Nutter on Sunday with a win over Washington in 5 innings, a run rule 15-2 win. Ella Parker led the way with 3 home runs, back-to-back jacks from Pickering, Kendall, and Ella. We did fall to number 7 in some of the polls, but again, Kendall Wells named National Freshman of the Week and National Player of the Week. This past weekend, we had our home opening series in Norman, and there was some fantastic weather for it for sure. Arkansas State win Thursday night was our most runs in a home opener for OU, passing the 17-1 victory over OBU from 1977. We had 33 runs in our run rule victory in 5 innings on Thursday night. Friday the 27th, OU 13, Sam Houston State 3 run rule in 5 innings. We were down 1-3, but again, come back and answered with that clutchness. 8-run bottom of the 4th, Gabby Garcia, Abby Dayton, Lexi McDaniel coming in clutch there. Friday game 2, 23-3 win over Arkansas State. 71 home runs had hit so far that season at that point. Tia Malloy, 2 home runs, a grand slam. We had 7 home runs in that game. Lexi McDaniel had 2 in 1 inning. Sid Barker, Cheney Helton, and Isabella Emmerling also hitting them in that game. On to Saturday in game 1, a 10-2 run rule win in 5 innings over Sam Houston State. Abby Dayton walk-off. Game 2 on Saturday, 29-6 Alabama State win. Most runs scored in 1 inning in program history as we scored 21 runs in the 3rd inning. Kendall Wells hit her 15th home run as a freshman. The freshman record is 30 for the whole season. She's already halfway there. Sunday against Southeastern Louisiana State. Again, that is when Nellie suffered her knee injury that we are waiting more information on. She was replaced in the game by Sid Barker. 9-1 run rule win in 5. Walk-off by Abigail Dayton for the 2nd time in the weekend to sweep the home opening series. Ella Parker, Gabby Garcia, Sid Barker, Kai Miner also hitting home runs. Lowry tossed another fantastic game and allowed just 2 hits and no walks in that game. We closed out a 6-0 weekend, which OU outscored its opponents 1-15. OU now has 86 home runs through 21 games, could infringe on the 100 home run mark by the end of next week. OU didn't hit 100 homers last year until May the 9th. Home run leaders through week 4, Oklahoma has 86 home runs in 21 games. Next up in the 2nd spot, UCLA, 60 home runs in 21 games. And then 3rd place is Florida with 55 in 24 games. Quick rundown of our numbers for softball through week 4, courtesy of Seth Olivares on X/Twitter. We're 5-1 versus top 25 teams. 15 run rule wins. 294 runs scored, 64 runs allowed, 86 home runs, 282 hits, 134 walks, 3 shutouts, 9 errors, 100 Ks through 117 innings pitched, and an 8-game win streak. Next up for our girls is Tuesday, March 3rd at UNT in Denton, which again, I'll be posting updates on that on my social media, and I will update you next week as well. And we will host the O'Connor Classic in Norman this coming weekend. Also, don't forget our soccer team has several home spring games, and their schedule is out now. You can find it on their social media if you get a chance to get out and support them. Also, if you're in the DFW area, they will be having several chances to see them as well. So check out their social media to get that schedule. Also, our wrestling team has the Big 12 tournament this coming weekend, March 6th and 7th in Tulsa. Be sure again to check social media for updates on that, and I will update on next week's show as well. Tennis, our women have a number 7 team ranking, but we fell to 11th the following week after a couple of losses. We did have a 4-2 win over Arkansas, but unfortunately then suffered 2 back-to-back losses, 2-4 loss at home against Auburn last Thursday and a 3-4 loss at Florida this past Saturday. But Julia Garcia Ruiz, who I interviewed for the show, her episode is coming up later this month. She is ranked number 18th in the nation in singles, and we do have several doubles teams ranked as well. Next up for the girls, they will be on the road twice this week on March 6th and March 8th to Tennessee and Kentucky. Our men's tennis team, number 18, team ranking, Lewis and Oscar and Asali Ali are ranked top 100 in singles, and Bruno and Oscar. Bruno I had on the podcast last summer, so go back and give his a listen. His episode was last July. Our guys unfortunately suffered a loss against South Carolina on Saturday the 21st, but then had a 4-3 win over Ole Miss on the 23rd and a 4-1 win at Tennessee on Sunday, March 1st. Next up for our guys at home is Kentucky this coming Friday, March 6th. Free admission for tennis, so get out and support our guys. Okay, our track and field team have been up to a lot. They had the Arkansas qualifier and the Crimson and Cream qualifier on Friday, February the 20th. Our women's distance medley relay combined to break the indoor school record. So shout out to those amazing ladies. Connor Jones also finished first with his throw. At the Crimson Cream qualifier in Norman women's weight throw, the Sooners showed out with Kennedy Clark, Chesney Scott, and Tylee Dodson all finishing in the top 5. Women's shot put, Tylee Dodson and Maggie Mullings finished first and third respectively. Men's 800 meter, a trio of Sooners in the top 5. On women's 800 meter, senior Kel McDavid cruised to a first Pele finish with a season best time for her. Women's 60 meter finals, Jordan Atkinson finished first, and the men's 3,000 meter, Adrian Stupan captured the event title. Women's triple jump, Riley Emmenhauser opened the day with the season best jump to claim her event title. Women's pole vault, Jacelyn Neighbors moved up to number 3 in OU history with a winning clearance for her. Men's pole vault, Hilton Green had a winning clearance as well. And men's long jump, Kennedy Stringfellow finished first, Nicholas Chu second. And women's long jump, Morgan Little, Cassidy Watkins finished first and second respectively. And we also had 2 other Sooners with personal best finishing in the top 6. Men's high jump, Julian McCullough cleared to earn a runner-up finish. And the men's shot put, another 1-2 finish for our Sooners, Tucker Smith and Andrew Heinig finishing first and second respectively. On to our SEC Indoor Championships in College Station. This past weekend, pentathlon, 2 top 10 finishes in Sooner history. Allie Stevenson had a personal best and moved to number 5 in OU history. Kennedy Jackson followed closely behind her for number 6 of all time. Men's long jump, Kennedy Stringfellow, 5th place finish. Women's 500 meter, freshman Domitilo Cheruto became OU's new school record holder. Holy smokes, congratulations to her. That is incredible. Men's 5,000 meter, we had 2 Sooners finish in the top 13. Women's pole vault, Jacelyn Neighbors got the Sooners on the board, finished to tie for 4th. Women's weight throw, Kennedy Clark threw 1 centimeter just shy of her personal best, but she finished 4th. Men's weight throw, Brendan C. launched a personal best to place 6th and become the new school record holder, so shout out to him. Women's high jump, Hannah Piffner took silver, set a personal best, and matched a school record that stood for 41 years. Also, Brianna Rivers tied for 7th place in that event. Kyron Washington for the men's high jump matched his personal best and earned his 2nd consecutive podium finish with bronze medal. Also, Tyson Ritz put on a show with his personal best clearance to earn 2nd place in the men's high jump. Men's triple jump, BJ Green claimed the silver medal, and Floyd Whitaker notched a new personal best to finish 4th overall and move to number 6 in school history. Women's triple jump, Riley Emmenhauser jumped to a season best to finish 8th place. Have the USATF Indoor Championship in Staten Island. We had a few Sooners who competed in that. Women's triple jump, Agur Drawal jumped to earn a 5th place finish. And next up for our track crew is March 13th, the NCAA Indoor National Championship in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And then outdoor season starts on March 20th. There are several opportunities to catch our Sooners in the outdoor season in Norman, so be sure to check out their schedule and get out to support them. Also, if you want to keep track of our rowing team, their season starts soon as their spring schedule is out. They don't have anything coming up in Oklahoma City, but you can still follow them on their social media, so be sure and check out their schedule so you can give them a follow. Our women's golfers have a number 24 team ranking, and we do have several other Sooners ranked individually as well. Our Sooners finished 7th in the Spartan Suncoast Invitational in Sarasota, Florida last week. And next up for them is the Gator Invitational in Gainesville, Florida this coming weekend, March 6th through 8th. And our men are playing right now, March 1st through 3rd at the Southern Highlands Collegiate, one of the toughest events each season held in Vegas. And they are playing today. They unfortunately were in last place after day one, but they did move up a couple of spots after some clutch hits by Jay Summy and several other of our guys. So they have moved up a little bit in the rankings. They will close that out again on March 3rd. So check social media for those results, and I will update you next week as well. Also, as you know, I post a lot about club sports on my social media. I don't talk about it a lot on here just because of time constraints, but I don't want to fail to mention we have club lacrosse and club hockey, swimming, soccer for our men, all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested in following any of our club sports, you can go check those out on social media. I do share a lot of that information on my X or Twitter account and on my Instagram. In case you missed it, we had Bedlam Hockey in Tulsa this past weekend. Unfortunately, we suffered quite a loss from the Pokes. I believe the final score was like 11-2, but it was so cool to see everyone getting out to support hockey in Oklahoma, and their season is winding down, but lacrosse is picking up. So there's always some way to get out and support our Sooners in some sort of capacity, and I hope that you will make the time to do so. Want to give a quick shout out of the week for our Sooner MVP of the week. Again, shout out to our men's gymnastics team, highest score in the nation so far this season that they earned this past Saturday. Softball team hitting all those home runs. Audrey Lowry being clutch in the circle. Track and field crew, they're always breaking school records, personal records, and taking podiums. It's just incredible the amount of Sooners that we have that are making accomplishments all the time. I don't ever want to overlook anyone. I do my very best to keep up and recap everything. Hope that you will go and give all of these kids a follow on social media and support them. Okay, for my Sooner fun facts of the week, I have two since I did not record last week. At the Big 12 Championships in 2024, the Sooner women's gymnastics team set a new all-time NCAA gymnastics record with a team score of 198.950. Also, your second Sooner fun fact of the week for this week, Logan McAllister was an OU men's golfer who finished his career in 2022 with a school record career scoring average of 70.98. So again, thank you all so much for your support. I truly can't thank you enough. You know where to go follow me on social media at Sooner Girl Pod. If you want merch, if you want to join the locker room, sign up for my newsletter. The February edition of the playbook came out just last week. You can find it on my Substack. You can sign up to have it delivered to your inbox for free. Ladies, you can join the huddle in our locker room so you don't miss our next online huddle, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. You can find all of this information, my link in bio. I'm at Sooner Girl Pod on every social media platform. My link tree is my link in bio. Everything is linked there. If you ever need any help, I'm happy to do so. Just shoot me a message. Okay, on to this week's introduction of our guest, our Sooner catcher, Brendan Brock. Brendan grew up in Southern Illinois, just northeast of St. Louis. He played at JUCO before transferring to OU. He was also actually drafted in the MLB draft, but chose to forego that because he wanted to come finish his collegiate career and take the opportunity to play at OU. He's always loved sports, especially baseball and football as well, which we talk about in the interview. It's truly a dream to come true for him to be at OU, and I am so glad to have him on our team this year. If you have watched our baseball team, followed them, you have seen his name. I don't know that there's been a game lineup yet that he hasn't been a part of as a catcher, a designated hitter. He's truly an incredible, important piece to our roster, and I'm so glad that he gave me the time to join me on the show. He does talk about his favorite Sooner memory also of watching Baker Mayfield play, so you won't want to miss out on that. Be sure and go give Brendan a follow on Twitter/X, and on Instagram he is Brendan with an A, Brendan Brock with 2 Ks on Twitter, and Brendan Brock with 3 N's on Instagram, which I will link that in the show notes. And of course, we'll be tagging him on social media throughout the week. So thanks again, you guys, for listening. Enjoy my conversation with Brendan Brock. Get out and support our Sooners. There's lots going on, and I will see you next Wednesday where we talk sports. I appreciate you giving me part of your time while you can. Baseball season will be here before we know it.
Yeah, end of February when we start.
Well, my husband actually graduated from OSU, and so we have tickets for the Shriners Classic in Arlington mid-February. I think it's Valentine's weekend. So yeah, we will be there all 3 days. We're very excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I heard that's
Yeah,
a good place to play.
that'll be a good one. And while we're on the note of my husband being a Poke, God love him, Bedlam in Tulsa, that one ought to be fun as well.
Yeah, that's at the Driller Stadium, so that'll be a good one too.
Yeah, that'd be exciting. I know on my calendar I have Bedlam baseball on, that's a Tuesday, I believe, and Bedlam softball is the next day at Devon Park in Oklahoma City. So I'll be keeping the road hot that week for sure.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It will be. It will be. Well, I want to back up a little bit and talk about your baseball journey because obviously you've been playing most of your life. So I want to hear how you got started playing baseball and then how you ended up at Oklahoma.
Yeah, so I grew up in a baseball family.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa played, dad played, all of my uncles played. So I was introduced when I was pretty young, starting when I was about 4 years old, and then kind of just always playing. I played other sports too when I was younger, but once I got to high school, then I kind of just focused on baseball. Then I committed to my junior college I was at, that I grew up 5 minutes away from. So it was
Okay,
nice to be
cool.
there. But
Yeah.
yeah, ended up getting hurt there my freshman year. So I had to take a medical red shirt. Yeah, so I spent 3 years there, played two. And then it was last summer, Coach Butler called me and gave me an offer, and I committed right away. Just because my dad grew up here,
Mm-hmm.
all of his family's down here.
That's
So it's kind of
awesome.
a dream of mine to play here. So when I got that call, it's kind of a no-brainer.
For sure.
Yeah, to have this opportunity to play in the SEC and play in front of family, it's been awesome. So
Absolutely. I love that. Well, I know you mentioned your family being from Oklahoma, and I kind of know your uncle, but I've actually heard him play. Your Uncle Ben, he plays at a venue here pretty regularly. And so I've heard him play a couple of times, and I saw him posting about OU baseball, and I was like, what the heck is the connection here? So he told me about you. So I think that's super cool that you have those Oklahoma ties, and I know they're glad to have you back in the state for sure.
yeah,
Well, tell me a little bit about your time at your junior college. I listened to your episode that you did with the guys on the Oklahoma baseball experience, and you in the draft.
yeah, I got drafted this past year.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that too, and any notable memories from your junior college. We can definitely talk about that as well.
Yeah, so that freshman year when I got hurt, I was probably good to play the back half of the season, but I just decided not to burn that red shirt.
I
And
don't
so
blame
I
you.
just I took that time to just eat, lift, get bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
Um, Came back that fall like 20, 30 pounds heavier, a lot stronger, a lot faster. So I had a good fall, and then my redshirt freshman year spring, ended up doing pretty good. Got third team All-American JUCO, and then that summer I played kind of like 2 hours away from where I'm from, in the Prospect League. Had a good summer. I kind of carried that into the fall. Had a decent fall, and then last spring I just kind of went off. I was committed already, so I didn't really have any pressure, with scouts and
Yeah.
everything. So I
Yeah.
was just playing carefree baseball, and then ended up breaking a few records, and then
That's
got first
awesome.
team All-American.
It's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that. Well, I know that you're excited to be at Oklahoma, and obviously, we're excited to have you here. And I am ready. The Diamond Sports are some of my favorites for sure, and I'm definitely ready. I got my baseball shirt on.
There you go.
I'm ready. I'm ready. So, have you met Carly Murray yet?
I think so.
Okay, so I actually interviewed her early this past spring. So she works for Sooner Sports Properties, but she's also a reporter for the baseball team. So I'm sure you'll cross paths with her soon. But she's actually Kyler Murray's cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's awesome. She's a really sweet girl. She loves baseball. She obviously has baseball genes in her family as well. But I had her on last spring and talking a little baseball, and she's awesome. So, but my only other baseball guest I've had is Carson Atwood. He was a former pitcher but he has some family from my area as well. So I had him on back in May, I believe it was. So he talked a little bit about he was on the team that made the run to Omaha a few years ago. So that was really fun to talk about. So speaking of Omaha, I know that that's obviously the goal for everybody, but you guys look to have a pretty promising season. And last season, I know you weren't in Norman, but the guys had a great season, and I think they'll probably build off of that. And you guys have brought in a lot of talented players, including yourself. So tell me what you're excited for this season and kind of what your hopes are.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We got a good group of dudes, a lot of talent. I mean, we got a good amount of returners and a lot of transfers and freshmen.
Awesome.
So I'm
Yeah, I
excited to
love it.
see these guys work and excited to bring it all together in the spring because in the fall,
Yes.
we would always scrimmage against each other.
Yes.
And so the teams were split. And so once we put that team together, I'm excited to see that or what we can do. So, but I think it's going to be a good year for sure.
Good. I'm ready. I'm so ready. I usually try to make it out to a few games, but that's one thing that softball does in the fall that I do like. Of course, they have their inter squad scrimmages as well, but they do play a couple of other teams, usually smaller schools. Seminole State, Oklahoma Christian, but it is good to see when you get to face off against another team. That's really when you can tell what you've got. So I know you guys are ready for that for sure.
Yeah, we played one scrimmage against Texas Tech,
Oh,
and
that's
we
right.
we beat them 18-1.
I forgot about that. Okay, yes,
Yeah,
I
I think
completely
we put a 15 in the first. So that was fun.
Wow. I'd completely forgotten about that. So I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so obviously you mentioned playing in the SEC and getting to go to a lot of cool stadiums, I'm sure, on that journey. But what's a team that kind of sticks out to you on the road that you guys have coming up this season that you're looking forward to playing either in the stadium or just playing against the program? Comes to your mind?
Texas for sure.
Texas, okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I mean, growing up an OU fan, you're raised to hate
Yes.
Texas.
Yes, absolutely. So do you guys play in Austin or Norman this year?
It's in Austin.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Well, I'll tell you, Austin's one place I don't think I need to go because I'm pretty sure I'd end up in jail.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm Sooner born, Sooner bred. I don't think I would behave. So, well, that'll be a good one for you guys because it's always exciting to watch Texas for sure.
hmm And they're
Yeah,
a good team too. So
they
I
really
think it'll
are.
be a good matchup.
Who do you guys have coming to Norman this year? Well, I know Tennessee's coming, but you guys are actually playing that series in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, in Bricktown.
In Bricktown. That'll be the last series of the season. So that one will be a fun one for sure. But what's some other teams that are maybe coming into Norman that you're excited to play?
Yeah, A&M, we open up with them. I think that'll be a
Okay,
good one.
yes, yes.
Missouri would be fun because a lot of my friends from high school they all go to Mizzou.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so playing them would be fun and talking trash and whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean I'm looking forward to all of it. I mean it's SEC baseball. I mean I grew up watching college baseball, so I grew up watching some of these guys play, and then I watched a lot last year just because I was committed here. And
Yeah.
so to be on that stage and being where I was watching last year, I think it'd be
Yes.
super cool.
I think so too. That's awesome. Well, I know you guys usually have some midweek battles with DBU. And DBU is always a really, really good team. If I remember correctly, I think you guys play there, and then they also come to Norman. So, do you know much about the DBU team?
Yeah, I know they're a tough team to beat.
They really
I
are.
remember watching last year. That game was super windy,
Yes, it
and
was.
they just kept hitting in the air and it was leaving. So
They did. They did. Yeah, they are always a tough team for some reason, and they definitely know how to play ball. So I'm excited about that one. I'm hoping to make it up for the one in Norman for sure. I know it's a midweek game, so I got it on my calendar because I know that'll be a good one for sure. Okay, so now that you've gotten to Oklahoma and you're getting acclimated to the program, what's something about the coaching staff that stuck out to you that drew you to OU?
Butler was the guy that recruited me.
Mm-hmm.
He showed me a ton of love, the whole year I was committed last year. And then I always kind of thought that like, once you're here, then that love will kind of go away, but it hasn't.
Oh,
And
that's
so like
good.
these coaches still, I mean, show the love, I mean, show the appreciation of me being here. So
I
it's
love it.
awesome. And also
That is
Reggie
awesome.
too, working with Reggie because he was the big league coach
Yes.
for the Yankees and he played the big leagues
Yes.
for 15 years. Uh,
Yes.
Playing for him is going to be awesome. I mean, he just knows a ton. I've learned a lot from him this fall, and
Yes.
I'm excited to see, kind of what we do in the spring.
For sure. For sure. Well, he also has a lot of OU DNA in his family, obviously. Everybody knows that name for sure. So you are a catcher, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, Easton Carmichael, he was one of my favorites, watching him for years and years. So I never like to compare people and say you have, quote, big shoes to fill, because that's not how I see things at all. I see it more as, obviously, you're a good, talented catcher, and you're going to come in and make your own mark with your own brand new pair of shoes. So certainly you're not trying to fill his shoes. But what's something you're kind of looking forward to? I know, like I said, there's a good legacy there being at OU in that catching position. And I know there's other great catchers there now too. But how do you feel like you fit in as far as that position goes, just on the team, and how you guys kind of feed off each other and encourage each other when you're maybe not playing your position?
I got the chance to talk to Easton last year. It was awesome. We had a great conversation just about the program and coaches and everything. My goal is to just try to be better than he was. I mean,
Yeah,
that should be, everybody's goal to fill in.
absolutely. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I'm a catcher and outfielder. So hopefully when I'm not catching, I'll either outfield or DH. And our other catcher, Dayton LaChance, he's awesome. I mean, he's one of my better friends on the team. I hang out with him the most, and we always, work with each other.
That's
It's
awesome.
nice having a guy on the squad, just always wanting to work and willing to go in and get some extra reps in. So
For
I feel like
sure.
that's definitely made me better, and it's been an awesome opportunity to play with him. And our freshman catcher, Gunnar Dillard, he's
Mhm.
awesome. We all kind of hang out, all the catchers,
That's
and
good.
kind of showing him the ropes and teaching him some stuff is it's been awesome.
That's really cool to hear. Well, you kind of mentioned that with that answer, but it's very important that the team feels like they're gelling together and not competing against each other. And it sounds like you guys are definitely doing that.
Yeah. So the good thing about catching is you can't catch every game.
Right, for sure.
We came in knowing that we're going to split time. He
Yeah,
also plays first base and he can DH.
nice.
So yeah, we weren't really we were friends right off the bat. So it's
Cool.
he's that's a great relationship to have. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I have to ask you about your favorite Sooner memory, because you mentioned watching Baker Mayfield play, which
hmm
obviously he put on a show a lot of different times. But what's your favorite Baker Mayfield memory?
I would say when he planted the flag at
Yeah,
Ohio State,
that's a good one.
I remember watching that one. That one was good because that pissed off a lot of people, and he
Yes,
just
it
didn't
did.
care.
I love it.
hmm
I always say if I ever meet Baker, uh, I feel like we would be friends, because me and him are a lot alike. We're kind of sassy, don't really
Yeah.
care what people think. So I love that about him. And he's still that way today, even though I
hmm
think he's kind of grown up a little bit, obviously being in the NFL, but he was always fun to watch. I always think about him in the Patrick Mahomes game, which I'm sure you remember, the insane yardage that they had. And
hmm
yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites to have watched over the years. So I guess you're a football fan, obviously. Is that your favorite sport other than baseball?
Yeah, I would say so. That
Awesome.
and I love watching hockey too.
Nice.
So
Okay.
yeah, growing up near St. Louis, got to watch the Blues play. So that was
Okay,
fun.
cool. Well, I'm a recent hockey fan.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about it, but OU has a club hockey team, and I have a connection with one of the players. And so I've been out to watch them several times this season, and it's really grown on me. I didn't know anything about hockey, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's super fast paced, so that's kind of
It
why
really
I love
is.
watching it.
It
I
really
honestly
is.
I hate watching baseball
Yeah,
besides like playoff baseball
I do not disagree with that.
because it just makes me want to play it so bad. Like when I
Yeah,
watch, I'm just like I like it makes me want to play.
yeah.
But we all watch the World Series, and I love watching that.
Yes, for
Just
sure.
like a regular season game, it's just like, come
Yes.
on. I mean, it gets boring.
I don't disagree with that. It's really hard for me to watch it on TV. Now, I will watch you guys if I'm not there, or at least follow along or something, but I will not just turn on a baseball game to watch, except for the postseason for the MLB, obviously. I feel like the postseason, there's just always so much at stake. So it seems to be more exciting for sure.
Yeah, but when I'm watching baseball, I always look at there's so many games within the game, and so
Yes.
that's kind
Oh,
of what I
yes.
watch. Like
Yes.
some people don't realize that is that there's just so many little games going on, with the pitcher and hitter, like
So
different
true.
counts, throwing this
Yes.
pitch and what to do on a back pick or when a ball gets
Yep.
by. It's crazy. There's a lot to think about, especially as a catcher.
Yes, there really is a lot to think about. There's, like you said, a lot going on at once. And yeah, I think about watching the World Series, and I don't know, who's your favorite pro team?
The Cardinals.
Okay, I figured. Well, obviously, the Dodgers in the World Series with the Blue Jays, and I really don't have any allegiance to either team. I kind of just follow the Rangers because of proximity purposes.
hmm
But it kind of grew on me a little bit, some of the Dodgers players. And so I was kind of rooting for them a little bit. And that game that went to 17, 18 innings or whatever, I was just like,
Yeah.
this is insane. But it was so exciting. Like that was one of the
Hmm.
best games, and I love it. So I love it when baseball gets real exciting. That's for sure.
Yeah. I passed out like the 12th inning of that one.
Well, I don't blame you. I think a lot of people did. I don't know how I
Yeah.
made it. I think I just kept saying, okay, one more inning,
Hmm.
and then finally it ended. So that was good.
Yeah. I was like, I'll see the score tomorrow. I'm not too
Yeah.
worried about
Yeah. It's going to be the same regardless.
it. Hmm.
Well, I guess you've probably been to quite a few OU football games this fall.
Yeah. I've been to every single home game.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been cool. So we get our athlete section and it's kind of right
Cool.
by the end zone.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah,
Wow.
I love watching OU play. So.
Me too. Me too. I always say football is my first love. We have season tickets and I'm in the southwest corner.
I'm
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to share? Anything you want to talk about yourself or the team or what you're looking forward to coming up for the season before I let you go?
I mean, I'm just really excited to get on the field, especially at
Yes.
this stage in the SEC, at my dream
Mhm.
school, playing with my
Yes.
brothers. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. Well, it's exciting to have you here in Norman, and I know we're all ready for the season. It's a good long season, and we'll be aiming for Omaha in June for sure.
Absolutely.